In this video, we're going to look at completing a mixdown with only 10 plugins. So I've gone ahead and made this list here. So these are the plugins I'm going to use. So obviously I've got to use these two plugins, Serum and Nexus for creating sounds. And then I've used Splice and Sample Packs for samples. And then my 10 plugins that I'm going to try and use are as follows. So for Sidechain, I'm going to use Kickstart 2. And then for EQ, I'm just going to use the basic fruity parametric EQ 2. For compression, just the basic fruity compressor. For saturation, I'm going to switch between Saturn 2 and Soundgoodizer. And then for the limiter, I'm going to use Pro L2. And then delay, just going to use the basic fruity delay bank. And then reverb, I'm going to use Valhalla Room. And then for my basses, I've had to only pick 2 sounds for post-processing, and I'm going to use Decimort 2 and OTT, and maybe I'll use Saturn 2 as well. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the most important part of Mixdown is actual sound volume placement. So let's start with the kick drum. So before we add any plugins, we need to start by adjusting the sounds. So let's start with the kick drum. So this track actually is just a full sample, so I don't actually have a kick drum on its own. So what we'll do is we'll set the drums to around the level I think they should be. And the quieter the better, really. So I'm just going to pick -15. I'm just going to turn it down on here. There we go, 15 looks good. And then let's add in this hi-hat as well. We've got this hi-hat sample. Turn this down as well. So on the master, this is coming in a little bit loud, so let's just check the kick group on here. So what is making it get quite loud? It must be the hi-hats. Okay, between -9 and -12, that's fine for all the drums, considering they're going to be the loudest part. And we can increase them later on the drum bus. If you've got like a full set of drums here, what I recommend you do is just put the kick at -15 and then everything else a little bit quieter. So the kick, the loudest part, snare or clap, the second loudest part, and then the hi-hat just a little bit quieter than all of those. And that should give you a good basis for your drums. So let's go through now and just adjust the sounds. So we've got these 2 sounds here, which are super loud. We'll just turn these down because they're not clipping or anything. We just want this in the background, this. So let's find this sample here. Turn this down. We'll just eyeball it for now. So what else have we got in here? We've got effects. So these effects I've already adjusted earlier just to save some time, but typically they'll be super quiet and in the background. And then this. So this respace, we need to just change the pattern. We'll go with one we haven't used yet, so 41. And then we'll just adjust all these instruments as well. We don't need to do too much for now, just bring everything down a little bit. Make sure nothing's clipping when it first hits in. Oh, it's all super quiet. Christ. Jeez, that's loud. So let's just figure out what this is. The drum here, so this one is clipping a bit, so let's turn it down on here. Right, that's fine. So let's just look at this. So we're going to try and get everything a similar volume to this intro here. And we're going to start with EQ. So I don't need to do any EQ to the drums at all, really. Maybe a little bit to the high end here. Just to clear it up a little bit, maybe boost some of the sounds there. And then I think we should EQ this pad. This one. Oh shit, there's one more. High pass filter. Maybe EQ this as well. Just paste this across. Boost some of those sounds. Can maybe add a Soundgoodizer to this one as well, just to boost some of the frequencies. Okay, so now we need to focus on this transition. So instead of this coming in straight away, we can filter it in. And we can just use an EQ for this. Normally what I'd use is Love Filter, but I don't have enough plugins to be doing that, so I can just do this instead. So grab a high pass filter, put it on steep, and then we can just go like this. Bring it from here and then bring it slowly in like that. And or you could do it from the bass upwards, but it's up to you. Doesn't really matter too much for this. Sometimes it does matter, but for this instance it doesn't matter too much. Let's do it that way around. And then we can also filter this sound in. I think it kind of sounds quite cool without a filter on. I think this sounds a bit weird, like a bit grim. Maybe I'll find a different riser for this part instead. What's this here? Let's try and find a riser. Just a basic riser. This one will do. Shit, don't replace it. Just for this bit. Just literally just cut out here and grab this bit. Then we need like a heavy hitting impact here. So let's go into impacts. Grab an impact. This one is normally my go-to. We've got quite a big increase in sound there, so we need to try and figure out how to do this without doing too much increase. So maybe we could add some EQ here. Still coming quite a lot louder. Maybe we could EQ this so it's not so harsh on the high end. That's the second time I've done that, fuck's sake. Need to check how this sounds. Maybe we could add some Decimort to this one as well. Starting to use some of the other sounds now. Whack another EQ on after. Try this. That's pretty good. See if we can add this back in here like this. Yeah, that kind of works, you know. Add this hole back in. Okay, that's pretty cool. Haven't really found much use for the compressor yet. Maybe on the vocals. I normally just go for a random preset, to be honest, with the fruity compressor. Normally what I'd use is Pro C. That's got like a nice visualizer on it. FabFilter Pro C. But if I'm just using fruity compressor, I'll just grab one of the presets on here and just stick with it. Starting to come together a little bit. Let's listen to it from the start. Automation is your best friend, so if we like here. Gets a bit boring with this non-stop sound, so maybe we could do like something with this. Maybe automate like this. Let's see if we do something more with this vocal. EQ it. When I said before it doesn't need to be filtered in, now it does a little bit. We can just use... I don't normally do this, but because I don't have any plugins, I'm going to automate the volume because I don't have any filter plugins or anything. Right. Don't normally do that though. Let's try Saturn. And we'll also use Soundgoodizer. Damn, that's got loud. Alright, let's have a look at the bass now. Actually, let's have a look at boosting. So I normally put a Saturn on my drums. And then parallel compression, we can just put some fruity compressor on. And then distortion. I'll just put some Saturn on, just for some extra layers. Just adds a little bit to it. Right, let's do the basses one at a time. So I'm actually going to add in a sub this time. So I'm going to cut out all the low end. And then we'll add a sub with Serum. So we'll just grab, we'll just make it fully sustained. Put it on 28. Alright, that should be good. Make a sub. Make it there. And then let's drop this in. I hate when it does that. And also we can do our sidechain as well, but the kick is not separated, so what I'm going to have to do is create a separated kick drum. And I'm going to do that by just going like this and dragging it into we've already used that kick drum pattern for the build up. So I'm just going to call this kick 3. Just so I don't have to change stuff around. Make it unique, yes. And then we can drag this kick into the kick group instead, like that. And then we can add our sidechain. So Kickstart 2, put it on audio, and then what we'll do is grab the kick group, sidechain to this track, go back to Kickstart, go up here, processing, change the input to kick group, and then it should be. I'll turn this on. And the kick channel as well. It should be sidechaining now. Yep. And we can do that with the sub as well. Hopefully I can just copy this across like this. Don't know if that would work. Because I haven't sidechained. I have sidechained it. Should be fine. Just double check. Yeah, looks like it is. Yeah. There you go, sounding heavy. And then we'll just grab the next bass. And we'll take out the low end. And we'll sidechain this as well. Sounds pretty good. Now there's going to be a little bit of clashing here potentially. So let me just see what happens if I EQ this, because it is an 808. I think it might be fine, to be honest. Let's turn it up. Or we could just cut out the sub for this bit. Let's try it. You know what, I'm going to leave the sub in for now and we can change it later if we need to. Bring this in. So for this bass here, let's try adding Decimort 2. Gee, that sounds fat already. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, the sidechain isn't really helping this at all, so maybe we can just... What we can maybe do is the band sidechain. But then again, the kick isn't actually sidechained. Hang on, I've done something wrong here. Because everything is being sidechained right now. My bad. If you spotted that, well done. I need to sidechain it to kick 3, not the kick group. So all I can do, all I need to do is sidechain to this group, like this. We'll just take it off the kick group. We'll have it going straight to the kick drum bus. Just so it doesn't get too messy. That explains why it sounded mental. And then we'll just take these out. And shorten, not like that. Take this off, shorten this, shorten this, shorten this, and shorten this. Then we can just do the same here. Get rid of the kick drum. And I'm not sure if this just repeats itself or not, so let's just be safe and remove them all. So you might notice I'm not actually using that many plugins, because you don't need that many. It's mainly sound selection and what you do with the sounds and the volumes you set them at, rather than just having loads and loads of plugins on everything you can think of. Because more often than not, that just ruins the sound, the more plugins you add. So if you're just really careful with the sounds that you choose, you'll often find that the sound outcome will be much better. What happens here? I've got a double one there, so yeah. Was right to do this. Let's just copy these across. Now we just need to go through Kickstart and make sure they're all on kick 3 rather than the kick group. It looks like most of them are. They've automatically changed, which is good. Seems alright now. Maybe instead of taking it away, we could do like a big boost. And then with this, let's try adding OTT. We haven't used OTT yet. Let's try Decimort 2 as well. Why does it just make everything sound better? So weird. Right, let's have a listen now. Maybe we can add some reverb actually to the basses. So what I like to do is get a Valhalla room, which is here, and then just put the mix somewhere like this, and the delay not too much. And then we can add an EQ, just taking out any low end. So high pass filter, grab it, take out somewhere around here. And then we could just whack this on. I feel like this one needs a little bit more. And we added a little bit of delay to this. So normally like one shots and one shot effects or one shot vocals or anything like that, I can add delay to. And you literally just change the time and the volume here and the volume here to get it in time with the track. It just adds nice effects and makes the track like fill out. You can barely hear it, but it sounds cool overall when you build them up over the track. Maybe we can take this pad out a little bit here with the, so like this. And then bring it back in. Maybe not. Filter would be good for this. The love filter. Another good thing to do as well is to take out the low end in the build up. So this is going to EQ it out slowly. So from here, I even add like a riser to it to add some more tension. So I could grab it like this. And go wherever, where is it? Where's Serum? Down here? Yeah. And then add like a pitch automation here. And just grab 50% up here. Maybe not that steep. It's very quiet in the background, but it still sounds pretty cool. Another thing I like to do is just whack a Pro L on the drum bus. Any type of limiter you can do this with, and then I can just change the gain how I feel like. So just needs some adjusting this bass afterwards. Try OTT again. Maybe add some like could maybe add some like Saturn to it as well. Kinda like that one. And also what I normally do is just whack a Pro L on the master as well. You can do a little master to it now as well. Track's pretty much mixed and mastered with barely anything used. Have I used everything? I think I have. I've used Kickstart 2 for the sidechain. I've used lots of EQ. I've used a little bit of compression, but most things are already compressed because they're samples or they're just straight from Serum or Nexus 4. Saturn 2 I've used a bit on the basses. Soundgoodizer I've used in various places. The Pro L I've used on the drum bus and the master channel. Use a little bit of delay, but there's not many one-shots in this. I'd use way more if they were like one-shot vocals and one-shot effects throughout. And then I've used Valhalla Room just on the bass bus. But if I was creating my own instruments, like a lot more, like I have this pad with Nexus 4, I could like put some on this, for example. Make it sound cooler. If I was using like plucks, I'd use way more like Valhalla Room, and I'd use a lot of Soundgoodizer and Decimort stuff just to like completely destroy the sound and make it sound really, really cool. But yeah, you can add delay like this. But like, well, yeah, but when you're using like raw, like Nexus 4 stuff, turn all the delay and reverb off on the actual plugin itself. I'll show you. So turn these off, reverb and delay here, and then add your own in and just like buff it out with reverb, delay, Soundgoodizer, saturations, bit of distortion as well. And you can really like transform the sounds and make it sound really fat and make it sound perfect in your track. So what else have we got? We've used Decimort 2 and OTT. Yes, we've used everything. So let's listen to the final product. That is the track mixed down and basically mastered as well. Sounds pretty good. Maybe I'd do a little bit more mastering on it later on, but I'm pretty happy with that. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from me in the future, and I'll see you all in the next one.